hearts and souls into it, but is that even enough? His standards must be set astronomically high. Plus, after the thing I found, I just gotta be honest.
I feel so much less safe around that man.
So, a few months ago, I was bored at home and I was looking for a game to play. I hopped on Steam, looking through the library and the catalog, and I found Shipwrecked 64 with overwhelmingly positive reviews. I've seen this game before, I didn't actually look into it, but I decided, a cheap horror game, I'm down for that. What I was in for was sleepless nights, a gripping mystery, and probably one of the best games I've played all year. Welcome to Shipwrecked 64.
Hey, everyone! I need your help! You say, buddy, let's go rescue the gang!
Shipwreck 64 is an ARG created by Squeaks the Corgi. It's about a Nintendo 64 game that was taken off shelves a few days after its release. And for those who are not familiar with ARGs, let me enlighten you with the wiki definition. An alternate reality game is an interactive networked narrative that uses the real world as a platform and employs transmedia storytelling to deliver a story that may be altered by players, ideas, or actions. This means to get the full story, you'll have to look at multiple YouTube videos and web pages the game provides you. The main hook of this game is the mystery behind it, and honestly, the best part of this game is that it will give you the answers you're looking for. This is not like Five Nights at Freddy's where we have to wait for new games or books to try and put together a story that can never be completed. I will be talking about this game in two parts. The game itself, where I serve as a guide and navigate the game and its puzzles, and the story, where I try my best to piece together the story of Shipwreck 64 and try to give a timeline of events. Now, before we start, I want to clarify just one thing. Seeing someone play a game is a very different experience to actually playing the game. And there is not a single other horror game, in my opinion, that is quite like Shipwreck 64. I really recommend playing this game firsthand and trying to put the pieces together for yourself. It's really cheap, and I'll have the link to the game in the description. But if horror games are not your thing, and you're more of a watcher than a player, then stick around and enjoy my video on Shipwreck 64. Shipwreck 64 is actually two different games. There's a 2023 version and a 1997 version. The 2023 version of Shipwrecked is a remastered version of the game, completed by Squeaks and two of the original developers of the game. Then there is the 1997 version of the game, unaltered. We will briefly go over the 2023 version of the game.
one. I need your help.
Step into the 3D realm with Bucky and his friends. Explore a vast open island and hopefully bring your friends back to safety.
So what do you say, buddy? Let's go rescue the gang.
Bucky and his crew, Walter the Walrus, Olive the Otter, and Giovanni the Goose, have shipwrecked on an island that is populated by wolves. The wolves captured Bucky's crew and have put them to work on the island. Our goal is to rescue our friends before the volcano erupts in 5 days. Going into the living quarters, we can find Walter, who asks us to retrieve his boat from a dam. To retrieve the boat, we need to do some platforming to reach switches. While we're doing this, sometimes the lights will turn off. When they turn off, we have to stop moving entirely. It takes a little second, but they turn back on. Honestly, this isn't that hard of a challenge, and we get the boat free from the dam with ease, which in turn frees Walter from captivity. Just next door in the theater, we can find Giovanni Goose, who needs us to help cook for the wolves. He can't turn the oven dials with his goose feathers, and asks us to do it for him. This is another really easy game where we walk around in circles looking for red ovens to turn green. And once we finish this, we have freed Giovanni from captivity. If we travel back a bit to the park, we can find Olive. Olive needs to collect 30 coconuts and ask us for help, as she's not good at finding coconuts. We find out she actually doesn't help at all, as she follows us around watching as we punch trees and open chests. Once we get the 30 coconuts, we free her from captivity. A little side note here, we can actually beat the hell out of Olive here, but it decreases our timer in the corner and does not benefit us at all in the slightest. Just something to note for later though. After freeing our friends from captivity, you would think we're able to leave. However, we need to get our boat back from the chief of the wolves, Chief Wolf. But it's midnight, and we need to go back to the hole to sleep for tomorrow. To locate Chief Wolf, we need to go back to the park and enter the town hall. Chief Wolf clarifies that he's not angry at Bucky and his friends, but is trying to act in the best interest of his people. Wolf will fix our boat if we can retrieve the pieces of it from Slumber Woods. In the woods, we have a feature which allows us to see all the boat pieces. However, we can also see a creature among the boat silhouettes. This is Horns. He will chase us around the woods, but he is very, very slow. Once we collect all the boat pieces, we are done, and we can finally leave the island. This brings us to a choice. We can either stay on the island and keep exploring, or we can leave the island. For now, let's see what happens when we leave the island. Well, I mean, that's an ending. Really sucks to be a wolf. So, how about we go back and see what happens if we stick around and explore for a bit longer? Going back to the town hall, the bars that were previously there have been removed, and we can now speak to... Man, what the hell happened to this guy? Meet Stumbler O'Hare, a blue rabbit who loves to paint. He wants to paint a portrait of a love interest and asks for our help. He takes us to a cave to collect ink bottles and keep his canvas upright. There isn't anything to note in this cave, just a cave. After giving him all the ink we can and keeping the canvas upright, he invites us to check out his artwork in the theater. Heading to the theater, we speak to him once more, and he asks us to check up on his other paintings he left behind in the jail cell. Going straight back to the jail cell, we meet another blue creature. This one's name is JD. JD informs us that there is a hidden barge on this island that can free everyone, but we have to navigate the volcano first to get to it. This brings us to the hardest part of Shipwreck 64, this platforming segment. It's not that this is hard, but it requires you to be somewhat confident in your platforming abilities. After getting to the very end, we come across our true ending. There we go. That's a much better ending. But there is a bad ending we can check out real quick before we leave the 2023 version. If you squander your time or fail the platforming section in the volcano, this is the ending that plays out. And that concludes the 2023 version. Honestly, for what it is, it's a good kids game. Short and sweet, and will probably keep a kid entertained for a while. There isn't a whole lot to mention about the 2023 version, but do keep in mind that this is a kids game. As the next part, we will cover the 1997 version. Okay, before we continue with the 1997 version, I just want to say, if you're somewhat interested in this game now, and you think you would like to play this for yourself, please pause this video and go get this game. It is worth the $8, and I will have a link in the description below. I wish I could play this game for the first time all over again, but I will never be able to enjoy this game knowing what I know now. It is a one-time experience. Please do not rob yourself of this experience if you are interested. From here on out, I will be covering most of the gameplay and some of the puzzles. After a certain point, I'll withhold the puzzle solving and will be giving hints instead as to how to progress, for reasons of time and fact I want you to have the aha moments. It's one of the best parts of the game. I will also not cover any of the story until I absolutely have to. So the last part of this video will be all about the story and piecing together the timeline. I'll be skipping secrets that don't pertain to the story and secrets within the game itself. So that way, if you decide to play it for yourself after this video, you still have stuff to explore. Now, without any more setbacks, let's dive into the 1997 version.
Hey, everyone! I need your help! So what do you say, buddy? Let's go rescue the gang!
So, compared to the 2023 version, everything seems to be the same. In fact, you can play this game exactly as you did the 2023 version and find nothing out of the ordinary. Well, maybe a few things.
1015. Hello International at 1530, wind 330 degrees 7 knots, cabin close, temperature 33, dew point 19.
Yeah, so what the hell is that? And what does that text say? We will cover this later. Right now, that's all you see on the surface. The endings are still intact and nothing's weird. Let's try to do as the game suggests earlier, and think outside the box. What if you were a kid in the 90s playing this game? Chances are you wouldn't be too good at video games. Maybe you would find the Walter minigame hard to complete, or you couldn't collect 30 coconuts in the time limit. Maybe we should try failing some games. Let's go find Olivia and see what happens if we don't collect the 30 coconuts she needs.
Watch it! Hey! Watch it! Hey! Watch it!
That's it then? Nothing? Surely we missed something. Let's try this again.
Hey! Watch it! Hey! Watch it! Hey! Watch it! Hey! Watch it! Hey! Watch it!
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
He showed up at the door again. I don't know what to do. Something about us and just felt wrong. He showed up at the door again. I don't know what to do.
This was honestly hard to sit through on my initial playthrough. And a disturbing detail is the attack is synced to the controller's vibration, so it creates a feeling like I'm witnessing this myself. Also, was that Bucky who attacked Olivia? That gives the can of whoop-ass we opened on Olivia throughout the last 2 times a double meaning. And who was that in the corner of the game window? Was that Olivia? Let's talk to her again. Maybe there's something more here. Olive is gone now, and it appears Bucky's murdered her. The music is gone, and the tension is heavy. I would hate to be a kid playing this in the 90s. We have to keep going though. Let's go find Walter next and try the same thing out with him. Oh. Hey, Olive. Olive has no eyes and will follow us throughout this stage. Aside from Olive following us, nothing's changed in this stage. So let's go ahead and fail and see what happens. What was Bucky doing in that video? Did Walter suffer the same fate as Olive? Walter is now missing from the overworld, and the game is as silent as it was before. That leaves us with just Giovanni. Walking into the theater, there's a movie playing on the screen. Definitely not creepy at all. We do the same song and dance with Giovanni, and this time let his ovens explode. This time, it's a bit different. I can't even talk to Giovanni again. I guess we could head back out to the theater and... Okay, wow. Honestly, when I first watched this, my jaw dropped to the fucking floor. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show that on YouTube. Speaking to Giovanni again, his voice is audibly different. What an insane series of events from Walter, Olive, and Giovanni. This actually unlocks something, however. As you can see, the door behind Giovanni is now unlocked. There's also 2 more doors that are unlocked when finishing the 3rd failure of Olive and Walter. This is known as Layer 2, and we will be diving even deeper into the game. Layer 2 consists of 3 different areas that relate to our 3 victims. The diner for Giovanni, the dam for Walter, and the pool for Olive. Each area serves as a puzzle to progress deeper into the game. These 3 areas are also here to explain the 3 main puzzles you'll be encountering throughout the rest of this game. Attached to the diner is a gallery, which has some interesting art on the wall. There is a gate that needs a code here. To find this code, we have to understand the first of our 3 ciphers, the Picasso cipher. 3 of these paintings have numbers in them, and a representing color. The flags above the gate represent the code we need to enter. All you have to do is match the colors to the number and you have your code. Our code here would be 8339, followed by 8888. Now let's dive into the pool. For the pool, we have to learn what a Mozart cipher is. On the wall, it says the code is ECDC. There's a tape on the desk we can play, which plays a snippet of the song Hot Cross Buns. All we have to do is find the sheet music, count the number of times each E, C, and D key is played, then correlate that number to the code on the wall. So our answer for this would be 3777. Lastly, in the dam, we need to learn about the Shakespeare cipher. There's a tape that is labeled code is RXBC. If we listen to it, we get this.
Romeo, Lima, Romeo, X-ray,
Romeo, Bravo, Charlie, 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 Romeo, Romeo, stand by, Lima, X-ray, Bravo, Charlie, Golf, Romeo, stand by.
All we need to do is take the first letter of each word that was said and correlate how many times it was said. So Romeo is said 6 times, X-ray is said 2 times, Bravo is said 2 times, and Charlie is said 4 times. This means our code for RXBC is actually 6224. Once you have these 3 ciphers, you can tackle the Layer 2 and complete it. There is not a lot to talk about for Layer 2 gameplay-wise except for these ciphers. Once we solve each of the 3 rooms, we are taken to a new hub world. I'll save this puzzle as it's not too hard to figure out. Once you're past here, it's onward to Layer 3. Welcome to Layer 3, the Land of Darkness. We're deep in the game now. There's a candle to pick up and a tape to play.
It hit her before she even knew it was coming. It started with loud screaming, reduced over time to mere croaks. Any will to swim away slowly drained away as she sunk down further into the water, polluting its natural color. The rodent stood a few feet away, watching the effects of his actions, and only began to walk away when she stopped struggling.
Scary stuff, right? Now is a good time to explain what this jumbled mess of text is. This is called Beaver Scratch. It can be solved by using this key provided by Ice-T-ish on Reddit. Proceeding, we find a log cabin that has a gate blocking our entry from Cogware Games. Doing some small platforming, we come into a room with a big computer and 3 doors. If we hit the switch on the computer, we're taken to a web page called A Helping Nub. It's a guide written by both Chief Wolf and Stumbler on what's to come and how to progress. We will need to solve the puzzles in 2 of these 3 rooms to unlock the Cogware Games gate. Here are my hints for these puzzles. If you're going through Olive's puzzle, you'll want to keep in mind one of our 3 ciphers. There's also an image of this palm tree on a computer. Try your best to remember where we might have seen this before. If you find the picture, you can achieve anything. Now we go to Walter's puzzle. We'll want to keep in mind one of our 3 ciphers again, as well as our handy Beaver Scratch key. And lastly, for Giovanni's puzzle, we'll want to once again use one of our 3 ciphers, and this puzzle in particular has a YouTube video attached to it. The audio you hear in this video is a red herring. It doesn't mean anything. Keep the name of the video in mind, as that will lead you to your solution. Once solved, we will have opened the gate and we can continue forward to the plaza. I have a confession to make. I lied when I said I would go over the full game. From here on out, the game starts to show its true colors, and the story unravels and gets insane. It's hard to talk about the next parts of the game without going over any of the plot points up to this moment. For that reason, I'm ending the gameplay section early, and I'll be breaking down the story from here on out. I will still be showing the ending to this game, as it is the key to understanding the game. But all the secrets and deep lore of this game, I want to save for those of you who are willing to find it. You could always go watch other channels' coverage that goes over everything, but I know that if you made it this far, that means I hooked you into this game. I implore you to check out what I did not cover here. There are plenty of things I left out intentionally from what I did show you, so I could get you started without ruining a lot of the fun there is to have when it comes to discovering this game. How did this game get released? How did such graphic material go unnoticed for 3 days? Why does this game have multiple layers? Why are there so many complex puzzles? What happened to our 3 victims? All these questions and more will be answered. Meet Rex Broadside. Rex got his claim to fame by creating groundbreaking animations around his character, Blot the Rabbit. His animations for Blot were constantly in theaters and caught the eye of a multitude of companies. After signing on with a company we don't know the name of, a falling out happened and Rex lost the rights to use Blot. Rex went on a downward spiral of depression and poverty, resulting in him moving back in with his mom. Several months later, this would all change. Rex was eating waffles with his mother one morning when an idea struck him: a waffle character. This was reiterated into Bucky the Beaver, due to the waffle design being iconic on beaver tails. Bucky blew up, bigger than Blot ever was. This led to the creation of Broadside Animations. At this point in the timeline, Rex is the equivalent to Walt Disney. He owns a studio and a theme park. This theme park is where our next plot point takes place: Broadside Beach. Broadside Beach is a theme park on a remote island. Rex would soon pass away after its creation, and Mark Mullins would take the spot as CEO of Broadside Animations. Nearly a decade has passed and we finally get to where Shipwrecked 64 takes place, 1996. This leads us to 2 very important characters, Connor Thomas and Elizabeth Baker. Cogware Game Studio, owned by Connor Thomas, is approached by Mark Mullins on creating a game about Bucky and his friends. The Cogware team got to have coffee to discuss this, as mentioned by Elizabeth.
Hello, Liz here again. Wanted to keep track of where we are right now. The other day, Mark took myself and the rest of our team out for coffee. It was pretty nice, but it was also somewhat unnerving. It was probably the first time through this whole adventure that the reality of my situation sunk in for me. Like, That's the CEO of Broadside Animation Studios. A massive animation titan in the industry is just here, waiting for our team to help it. That's genuinely such a crazy thought. But if he enjoys our game, that's going to be life-changing. It's just a lot, honestly. But it's okay. I think we'll all be enjoying our time on Easy Street once we've shown Mark the game. Anyways, that's all. Toodles.
Production has started on Shipwrecked 64, and we can find another audio log from Connor talking about the development.
Okay, as of today, the beach, park, and hull are all complete. Even got Olive in here. Just need to set up her teleport once we have the minigames completed. Oh, it's March, by the way, 96. Sorry, I'm just kind of excited. Why am I sorry for that? Today's a good day. Anyways, everything is going smoothly, I think. Liz needs to get back to me with Walter's Mall, plus his head texture, but it's smooth sailing, I guess you could say. I think I've patched the noble bugs, too. Even the one Harry found in the hole, where you get soft-locked behind the bed. How did he even do that? I'm planning to talk to Mark later. I can't wait to show him the progress. I think it's gonna go great. We'll have to see, though. That's all. Signing off for tonight.
Now, parallel to the start of development, Mark was facing complications in his marriage.
Been acting right. No one around has been acting right lately. I took her to the hospital, and I walked out on my own. They said that she's going to be there for a while.
Mark's wife Harley was diagnosed with cancer around the time the game started development. This eventually leads to Harley getting her arm amputated. There's another audio log that goes over how hard this has been on Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna sound like a madman recording one of these things. You know, I just kind of need to feel like I'm talking to someone, even if I'm not. So, yeah. Shit. Where to start? This week hasn't been the greatest. Well, let's say that lightly. No, this week has been horrible. Everything feels like it's just going off the deep end, and I'm just starting to wonder how much I got left. Harley's still in the hospital, and until she's out, I'm sitting in this office. It's big, it's cozy, yet it feels so empty. Not a single soul has entered this room in days, aside from, myself. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Just remember your affirmations, and you'll be fine.
Not a lot is known about the conversations between Mark and Connor in private, but this next audio log suggests that Mark had maybe halted development for some time. It's thought to be this is related to Harley, but we don't know.
Alright. Today is August 12th, 1996. We've been given the go-ahead to get back to work on the project. It's been rocky, but we're all getting back into it. Harry's been at his workstation all day, playing through, well, he's been stuck on Olive's level, the coconut one. Apparently, there's been an issue with the chests spawning in. They just appear a random, which is already bad. But then they soon vanish when you get too close. I'm really just not sure. It's very confusing. I'll figure it out soon, though. I'm sure of it. And Liz has been busy as always. She's trying to catch up on the game's artwork. We finally got a finalized design for the wolf guy, mostly changing his proportions, so we can share his animations with other characters if we need to. But yeah, she's killing it, as usual. And on my end, not too much. I'm just chipping away on a little debug map right now, calling it just the Plaza for now, until we can think of a cooler name for it. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to keep recording these. They're very fun, for sure. Alright, see ya!
Connor mentioned the Plaza. This is right where I left off with at the gameplay. This next part is pivotal, as our audio tapes change abruptly. You might remember this from the start of the video.
Hearts and souls into it, but is that even enough? His standards must be set astronomically high. Plus, after the thing I found, I just gotta be honest.
I feel so much less safe around that man.
Now this is where our story starts to get interesting. What could Connor be talking about when he says his standards must be set astronomically high? And why is Connor suddenly so scared of Mark? After the thing he found, what could Connor possibly be talking about? This is where the Plaza comes into play. Scattered throughout the Plaza are 15 notes out of order. However, it's not until we piece them together do we get the full story of what Connor found. I was at the offices last night. I had brought a drive with me. It contained a presentation for Broadside. I didn't grab that drive on the way out. When I slid my drive into the slot, nothing I included was there, but instead a branching web of folders, the contents of which were repulsive. Many different folders, so many names, so many labels, so many mistakes. It's sickening. Folders dedicated to old cartoons, but not just that. Cover-ups too. Every slip of the mask was justified. Their goodwill was rooted in fiction. Controversies on Bullet Inn were silenced. Any bad blood the company had silently fizzled out. This folder contained documents of these lies, created only to keep their story straight. It goes beyond public issues though. People have died at their parks. And you think it's bad now? Get this. A little girl was crushed in the Squirrel Cruise. Quite literally. Head caught between the track and the boat. I saw the pictures. It's as bad as you think. Oh, and it gets worse. So much worse. Not only have guests died, but employees have too. Before Studio Grounds, they owned an entire island. And on that island, at the very least, there were 3 deaths. 3 deaths and no news coverage. Why? Fiction. It's all rooted in fiction. It's a miraculous recovery that boy had. Near-death experience, yet he's back in the park? It was a cover story. It gets much worse though. On that drive, photos of bodies. 4 in total. Very heavy black and whites. This wasn't the original image. It was a copy. The fact that these images are photocopied to me at least means that these people shared images of dead people. Oh, and you want to know what else? There is footage of the murders. I want more than anything to say what I found, yet I can't. It would ruin us. These guys are our only paying clients in years. Fucking hate this. I guess I'm writing this more for, I don't know, relief? Peace of mind? Hard to say, really. All I know is, this is going to stick with me. So it looks like Broadside has some cover-ups. And about the employees who have died, if we take a closer look at one of the murders in particular, Giovanni, we can see a timestamp in the corner. And what do you know? 1990. So Broadside had a killer on the loose who killed 3 employees. At the very end of the plaza, after puzzle solving, we get access to download a folder containing information regarding our 3 victims, Olivia, Nathan, and Gary. the actors for Olive, Walter, and Giovanni respectively. Now this is just a small snippet of what Connor had found, as there's much more mentioned we did not get access to downloading. But do you know what else had to have been on there? Mark's audio logs. That would be the only explanation to how some of these are in the game. And within that hard drive, we have this audio log from Mark.
I just looked at the numbers. Fuck! Our entire brand's been going down the drain. The stocks, I've never seen stocks get this fucking low. And we're still bringing people on. We're still expanding. At this point, what the fuck's a layoff gonna do? It'll sink us further into the shit! Okay, the best option. I think the best option we've got, I've been, it's been going in my head for like the past 5 fucking hours now. The best option we got is to cut the game studio we've hired. Okay, we've been basically dumping money into their pockets, and I don't know what exactly they're making. I haven't heard from them in months. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna schedule a meeting with them. Okay, and if they don't have exactly what they've promised, we cut them off. It would save our asses in the long run. It'd probably give us a fighting chance. It's... God, fuck. You know what? I just realized I'm throwing the exact same amount of money I'm paying for Harley's medical bills into this fucking game studio! You know what? I'll figure it out.
So if Connor has this audio, then that means he had to have accidentally gotten it from this drive swap. Imagine being Connor for a second and listening to your job being on the line, if it's not exactly what is expected of. Perhaps that would lead to increased development of the game, such as adding the diner, the pool, and the dam. With Shipwrecked being so short as it is, surely that wouldn't be enough to impress Mark. This could have been what led to expanding the game out and adding these multiple layers. However, obviously the layers are not what they would have reflected in the final game. Speaking of layers, later into the game past the plaza, we can find an audio log of a very distressed Connor.
Toss the script. Toss the fucking script! It's done! It's over! That went horribly. I can't even lie to myself on this recording. It went horribly. All that work, all for nothing. It's only a matter of time till I get their 2-week notices on my desk.
This had to have been after the meeting, and with Connor in a panic, it seems like his life is on the line. He did mention in the plaza that this has been their only paying client in years. Perhaps Cogware is in financial ruin, and this was their last big chance. We can find another tape from Elizabeth that would have had to have been after this meeting as well.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
Connor? Hello? Look, you're going to have to answer me soon enough. I went in today because despite the stress of this job, all of the work I'd spent the last year on being put to waste, and all of us being taken off of our payroll, I wanted to check in and see if you were there. But not only do I walk in and see you're gone, but so is half of the equipment. What are you doing? Call me back when you hear this. We really need to talk about this.
This has to take place a little bit after Connor's panic. As Liz mentioned, she was taken off payroll. But why would half the equipment be missing? And where in the hell is Connor? There are 2 audio tapes that will give us our answer.
Change of plans. Liz has already done everything she needed to. Harry's done. Well, enough. I'm taking the reins now. I'm completing this on my own. No help, no influence from Broadside, Mark, or any of those disgusting fucks. I was worried about what he'd do to me. By the time I'm done with him, he will regret the day he first uttered my name. I decided that, for a good chunk of the 4th layer of skin to the game, I wanted to add a bit of my own flair. So I migrated the files from our convention demo into the game. When people find it, it'll be like they're seeing our history, seeing what was corrupted by corporate suit and tie fuckwits. Mark Mole.
Connor decided to take matters into his own hands. This is his life work, and he's going to make sure it gets finished. Connor takes pride in his work, a lot of pride, and he's not going to let Mark take that away from him. After the plaza is the 4th layer. This layer is the aforementioned convention demo. This demo showcases a lot of the work that the team has done, but this also serves to show Connor's pride in his work. This is groundbreaking technology for the time in 1996. He needs the world to see this. Now it's time to go over the ending of this game. I will be letting the ending play out in full without any interruptions, and I'll be going over what it means at the very end. If you do not wish to have the ending spoiled, please turn off this video now. Thank you for sticking with me this far. Now, let's go over the ending and what it means.
Connor, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been playing this for about 2 hours now, and I'm not seeing the widespread appeal you've been promising us. It's, well, to be honest with you, it's clunky. I don't know what I'm doing. The characters who you promised would have depth and life, they are just flat. I thought that's the entire point of a 3D game.
What?
You oversold it, Connor. That's what I'm trying to say. The company is meant to be forging new frontiers, and, to be frank, after what happened at Studio Grounds, I really don't think this is going to be anything. It's not going to be anything in the same tier as our movies, our park, anything. And I really hate to say this, because I know for a fact you and your team put a lot of work into this game, but I just don't know if it's worth continuing to sink money into.
Sink money into? Mark, this is our job. You've had us working on this for 2 years, and now suddenly it's an issue?
Yes, it's been 2 years, and in those 2 years you've only sat me down now and showed me the actual fucking game.
So, what can we do to fix it?
No, Liz. This isn't a fix the game issue. It's a fix your perspective issue. Mark, you are sitting in front of some of the greatest technology of the decade, and you're gonna brush it off?
Connor, I'm not brushing anything off. I'm just trying to understand where this...
I'm sorry to say, Mark, but it's true. It's not that we've made a bad game. We've all exceeded the industry standard. What we're having a hard time passing is your thick skull and...
Connor! Stop. Look, I'm so sorry about him. He's just under a lot of...
Is it Harley? Is it not worth it anymore because you're trying to treat her instead?
What?
Yeah, I said it.
What are you bringing her into this for?
Because I bet that's what you're gonna do. You can't keep funding our 2 years worth of work. Gotta buy her a fancy casket.
Unbelievable.
Mark! Look, I'm really sorry.
Now, Liz, you're fine, okay? But I want you to know that we are done, professionally. All right? I don't want to work with any of you guys again. Quite frankly, I don't want to see you guys touch our property. Any of that. Am I clear?
Yes, Mark.
You can go now.
No. No. Because first of all, I want our equipment back.
You can go now! You can go! Leave!
Take a step closer. Lay a fucking hand on me. You lay one hand on me, I'm gonna make sure you stay in jail for a real long fucking time. Huh? Who are they gonna believe? You? You are nothing. I will be taking my leave now. Good luck in your future endeavors. I expect the office to be cleared by next week. Do not contact me again.
Okay, I have a lot to talk about this ending. This is the moment Mark told Cogware that the game was being cancelled, and he severed all ties with Cogware Games. Did you notice how Connor thrown out Harley's name when it came to the decision? This is due to the hard drive swap where Connor got to hear Mark's audio logs regarding Harley's health. While Mark had believed he won, he was not aware that Connor had the hard drive files. Connor dead set now on taking down Broadside Beach, and Mark, he set out to sabotage Broadside. Shipwrecked 64 isn't a game. It's a loaded gun pointed directly at Broadside and Mark. Things were a lot more relaxed in the late 90s. It is very plausible Connor could have published this game to stores and exposed the truth. However, Connor knew this game wasn't going to be up for very long. That's why he hid a lot of the details in multiple layers of the game. However, he had to send a message, and what better way than to do some damage with the first layer of the game? The amount of bad press Broadside would have gotten from the gruesome murders could have potentially sank the company. And Connor knew there would be a select few out there who would dive deeper into this game to really get to the bottom of it and bring the dark secrets of Broadside to light, one of which being his son, Patrick Thomas. Connor's son reached out to Squeaks and Elizabeth to help bring this game back to light in honor of Connor, which was the goal of Shipwrecked 64 recovery team, as well as the inclusion of the 1997 version. This was Connor's pride. This was to show the world Connor's magnum opus. This is Shipwrecked 64. Hey everyone, quick note before I end the video, there's still a lot more to discover in Shipwrecked 64. I purposely left out a lot of deep lore and content and only provided the surface story of the game. There is also DLC currently being made by Squeaks that might answer some of the questions that are still left in the dark. I hope that whoever watches this video will be inspired enough to do some more digging around this game and find the multitude of secrets I had left out. With that being said, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.